Welcome to Sim Race TV. I'm Jay Weezy. We're live tonight from Pocono Raceway here for the United Southern Racing League's 2018 Demon Sim Works Cup Series here. The first race of the chase, which is race number 11 of a 15 race season. And these guys are out there qualifying right now. Actually just wrapped up qualifying. So we'll take a look at some of the drivers out there. They put down the fastest times here tonight at Pocono for the first race of the chase, and we're gonna go over a look. We're gonna take a look at the point standings as well. But top 10 in qualifying here. Actually, I don't believe that's right. We'll take a look at the grid though. And also I got Dustin German up here in the booth with me here tonight at Pocono, so he's gonna bring y'all a lot of good information that you're gonna need. But real quick, before we go through the starting grid here at Pocono, let's take a look at our point standings. And the top 12 are locked into the chase. John T. Wimbish on that top. Well, actually tied with Ed Morris there for that number one spot there. Wimbish, Morris, Radford, Sargent, Stump, Haynes, Potter, Dunn, Albright, Clement, Michael Thwaites, and Dustin Pings, the 12 drivers that's going to be competing in the chase here for the United Southern Racing League's 2018 Demon Sim Works Cup Series. So good luck to all those guys out there. And these guys are on the starting grid here. So let's take a look at these guys as they sit down on pit road. The number 30 of Todd Sargent. He's going to be your pole sitter. And tonight we're going to see if Ed Morris can make it 3 in a row, because he won the last 2 races. So he's on a win streak, man, coming in dominating the last couple races here. Not really dominating the whole race, but he's the one that's been finishing at the top of the charts and doing them burnouts down there on the start-finish line and parking that car in victory lane. So he's been doing a great job over here. But Todd Sargent here in the 30 car, he's going to be starting on the pole. And these guys are getting set to roll off. Dustin, what do you expect to see out there at Pocono tonight?
Man, from what I've heard, it's a really tight track. You know, it's a very tricky track. They call it Tricky Triangle, and they don't call it that for nothing. And 3 distinct turns out here, so it's quite a bit of a challenge, and also I think it's a fun racetrack for these guys.
All right, well, these guys are rolling off the track, and I would have to agree with you there. It's the Tricky Triangle coming to you here tonight. And Todd Sargent's going to be the one starting on the pole. He's going to have the 76 car of Chris Garrett starting right there with him on the front row. And we also got, looks like the number 17 of Tommy Haynes. He's going to be on that second row inside. Let these guys get sorted out here down the back stretch, so we can see who's all out there. Let them get lined up there. We got Troy Radford there and Ed Morris as well. And Ed, man, Ed's been putting on a show over here and putting in some work. We also got the number 2 of Ron Hollyfield, the number 9 of Dustin Ping, the 42 car, Eric Driggins. I believe he missed a couple races, but he's out there tonight, out there riding around. We also have the 61 machine of Adam Jocelyn. We got 19 cars showed up here tonight for this one here. The 81 car, that's Kenneth Dale Osmond. They call him KD Osmond. Right there in the 81. The number 5, Charlie Widner. The 56 is John T. Wimbish. The 03 of Keith Dunn. We got a few other drivers back there, but we're getting set to go green. So we're going to turn it over to these guys out there on the track and let them pump up some excitement here as the pace car pulls off on the pit road. The 76 wastes no time there. These guys gaining a lot of speed before they head off into turn number 1. Turn 1's a little bit tricky on these restarts. All these cars bunched up. We're looking at the 35 sitting there side by side with that 94 of Troy Radford. Eric Driggins in the 42 right behind them. Everybody makes it through the tunnel turn here pretty good. We got a battle up front here between Todd Sargent and Chris Garrett. Chris Garrett got a great start there here to start off this race, and now he's got his hands full of Todd Sargent as they come off of turn number 3 here to come past the start-finish line for the first time tonight. The first lap will be led by that 76 of Chris Garrett. Still side by side. These guys putting on a show up front here, Dustin.
Yeah, man, this is one of those tracks, long straightaways, so we'll be drag racing all night long here, and a lot of brake going into these turns also.
Yeah, these guys getting up to a high number of miles per hour. Let's pull up the driver information and see what kind of speeds they're running. Looks like he's hit 189 before he has to slow it down here, headed into turn number 3. Todd Sargent takes control of this one, and he's going to take over the lead here as they cross the line for lap number 2 complete. We're on to lap 3 here. 80 laps here, Pocono, so we might be here for a long night, but this one's starting off great here.
I think we've seen 207 there.
Yeah, these Cup cars really know how to put down some horsepower, and they look pretty good too, but yeah, they gained a lot of speed there on that long front straightaway above 200 miles an hour. And same thing on the back, you know, I seen 199. I wouldn't doubt some of these guys hitting the 200 there before they get to the tunnel turn. As they go through that tunnel turn there, take a look at our running order here. Todd Sargent still the leader here. Chris Garrett, Ed Morris, Tommy Haynes, and Ron Holyfield rounds out the top 5. So let's take a look at some of these drivers a little bit further back. We got a race going on. Tommy Haynes and Ron Holyfield along with Troy Rafford. Troy Rafford side by side with Ron in the number 2 Hardee's car out there. Ron Holyfield, a really smart driver, man. He knows when to hold them and when to fold them, that's for sure. So I'll be looking to see him up front here towards the end later on in the race. And you know, we were talking about this being an 80-lap race. 80 laps, quite a long ways here at Pocono. What are they looking at on fuel mileage?
Well, from what I've been hearing down in the garage, it's about 18 to 20 laps on fuel here. So, yeah, it's going to be a couple of green flag pit stops hopefully here. Usually lends itself to that here at this track. So, we'll see these guys hit pit road around that time. Well,
it might not sound like a big difference between 18 and 20 laps, Dustin, but, you know, those 2 laps, that could be a difference between having to make 3 pit stops and 4 pit stops here, because if you can make it to lap 20, then you can pit 20, 40, 60 and be good for the rest of the way there. But if you can only make it 18, then that's going to throw a wrench in it. And some guys might try to come in on a different, you know, they won't try to run the whole tank out there because they got to pit, you know, 4 times anyway. So it's going to be interesting to see, because right now this thing looks like it's going to go green right now with Todd Sargent leading this one. Ed Morris takes over the number 2 spot up front. Chris Garrett drops back to 3rd. Troy Rafford up to 4th. And J.J. Garrett running strong in that 5th position there in the 35 car. But we're keeping an eye on this battle right here between the 81. Looks like the 81 is moving up just a little bit. Kenneth Dale Osmond and the Bass Pro Shop ZL1 Camaro, they touch. Going into 3 there, a little bit of contact. Didn't look like it upset their cars much. They are fighting for the number 9 or the number 10 spot there, because John T. Wimbish right in front of him there in the 56 machine. He's running in 9th there. So the 81 and the number 2 trying to hang on to a spot in the top 10 here.
Yeah, this is a relatively flat track, almost like we've seen last week in New Hampshire in most turns here. So it's going to be pretty hard on tires. So like you said, it depends on when these guys choose to pit. They could short pit a little bit, maybe, you know, get a little bit more seconds out front on these guys.
Yeah, and Chris Garrett led the first lap here. We're watching him in the 76 machine right now. He's running 3rd. He's all up over on the back of that number 7 of Ed Morris, which won the last 2 races here, trying to make it 3 wins in a row.
There's a caution.
And yeah, the number 9 of Dustin Ping looks like he's got some trouble on his hands there, and a lot of damage on the right side of that car, the left front and the left rear of that thing, pretty beat up. So We're gonna have to go back and take a look on the replay. I didn't see what happened there, Dustin. Dustin Ping off of turn number 3. Taps that outside wall. It just shoots him down to the inside of the track there. Hits the pit road wall there. That safe barrier to protect those guys down on pit road there. And it destroys the Z01 Camaro that he's driving right there. So looks like he's going to have some trouble here, because aerodynamics here, you really don't want to have anything wrong with that car. So he's all but out of this one right now. Let's go back live then here, since we're under our first caution of the night. I want to get this out there early to you people out there watching, and if you are watching, we definitely appreciate the support, you guys, and I hope you enjoy the show here tonight. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, so if there's a driver you'd like to talk to, if you like one of these guys and you want to know what their strategy is, well, without them giving away any special information that they might not want other drivers to hear, because some of these other drivers scan the radios. They can hear, you know, what we're saying. They got the broadcast playing in the background, or maybe their wife or girlfriend's watching, so you know, they don't give away too much information. But if there's a driver that you want to talk to, let us know who it is and what you want to ask them out there in the chat, and we'll try to get them up here in the booth, catch them on the radio, and ask them what you want, right? Or ask them what you want to ask them there. Todd Sargent, he's our leader right now. He's right behind the pace car. They're getting set to come down pit road. So after they get down on the pit road and in and out of their pit box, we'll try to get a talk in with one of these drivers. Thank you there, David. Climber time out there watching. Rick Greenaway, guys, I appreciate it. Couple guys watching over on YouTube. Hope everything looks all right. It usually does, you know, but you never know. Here at Pocono, we don't come to Pocono much, Dustin.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like this track. They usually don't put it in schedules, man. It's almost like the road course of oval tracks, is what I've heard before. Very, like we said, very different turns in all 3 turns. It's not a 4-turn track. They say what turn 4 is kind of a catchphrase here. So 3 turns, triangle shape, very tough to get around.
Yeah, I would have to agree. You know, pit road here, busy at the moment. Everybody seems to get into their pit box fine here as they get their 4 tires and fill it up with some fuel. And they're going to have to readjust their pit strategies here. And the first one off of pit road looks like the 76. It looks like the 76 car.
It looks like it.
Chris Garrett, maybe.
Yeah, that's yep, Chris Garrett.
We have a couple guys that did not come in. Adam Jocelyn and Jerry Glenn still out on the racetrack. Well, let's take a look at our new leader here, Chris Garrett. And anybody out there? I haven't gotten anything. Dustin, anybody you'd like to talk to, you just go right ahead and do it.
Okay. And I wanted to say this, I think this is the latest version of Pocono that has been added to the service of iRacing here. So it's the repave. It's a little bit smoother, not as hard on these cars or drivers as the past, so, but it's more single file, I would say.
Yeah, I love the new track, man. It seems a lot smoother, less bumps, you know, and the tunnel turn. I don't know, it's just it worked out for me. I like it.
Yeah, turn 1 in the old track was really, really bumpy. You remember, you go down into turn 1, it's like the car's 2 foot off the ground after you land off the other side of that bump. And also, they got rid of the rumble strips in turn 2.
Awesome, yeah. And, you know, I'd love to get a word in with Ed Morris. You know, he's been doing a great job here the last few races. So let's see if we can find him on the radio here. There he is. AMS. Ed Morris, is Jay Weezy. You got a copy?
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Hey, man, you've been coming in hot here the last 2 races. Looking to make it 3 in a row, man. What's your chances out there?
I like this track. This track's fun. I think the chances are pretty good. We had some trouble right there on pit road, but got some stuff fixed, and starting from the back here, so we got a long way to go, long race, so be patient.
Yeah, we seen you had a fast race car up there. You lost quite a few spots, man. What do you think that'll affect here coming on this restart with all the traffic in front of you?
Well, hopefully we'll get kind of spread out here, and like I said, it's a lot of laps. Just got to be patient with it. We'll work our way back up there. I'm pretty confident in this.
All right, buddy. Well, we won't keep you, man. Get back to work. Good luck out there.
Thanks, man.
The number 7, Ed Morris, man, and you know, he might be back a little bit further in the pack, but he's definitely not out of this one. He's been through everything, you could say, this season, so he knows how to get it done.
Yeah, he's definitely the closer of USRL. Man, he'll make a run from the back. He's very patient, very smooth, very clean, man. He knows how to get it done.
Yeah, and what I've heard is he really knows how to take care of his equipment and fuel mileage, man. He is the king of fuel mileage. You know, maybe not the king, but he's pretty good at it. And it works out for him that way. It happened in New Hampshire, you know. He stole the show from him that way. So here we go as they come off of turn number 3 for the first restart here after caution number 1. Chris Garrett and JJ Garrett hammer down. Look at these guys fan out here as they get back underway. Head down into turn number 1.
Yeah, Chris wasted no time getting on that hammer, man. He knew he's seen coming through his mirrors. KD Osmond up to second, man.
KD's going to be one to watch out for, the 81 machine. He's really good on road courses, and, you know, you said it, this is kind of like the road course of the, you know, ovals or whatever, but I expect to see him up front somewhere here before too long. He did start a little bit further back, so he had his work cut out for him. Yeah, right now scored in 7th position, the 81 machine. In trouble off of turn 3, contact. Tommy Haynes makes an evasive move to avoid that one. John T. Wimbish, he threads the needle and gets through that without any interruption. But these guys hang on to it there. What a great job by all the drivers there, but some damage was made there. Looks like the 76 machine has a little bit of damage on the left front. And if he hit another car, and then there's another car out there with some damage, not quite sure who it was that got together. I know 76.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those tracks you don't want to get into the wall. If we said long straightaway, somebody just got really loose off of 2 there. Great save.
Yeah, looked like JJ Garrett there in that pink and black number 35 there. Wiggles a little bit there through the tunnel turn here. Ron Holyfield all over the back of the 76 machine, putting the pressure on him, and shouldn't have any trouble getting around him there, considering he's got some damage here at Pocono.
Yeah, we're seeing these guys racing a little bit harder this restart. You know, they started from the beginning of the race, and they were like, well, we're going to kind of take it easy, and they've seen how hard it is to pass, so wasting no time here.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of the 2 machine of Ron Holyfield. I'd like to take a look. It looks like he's got a little bit of left front damage on that car, so let's get a closer look here as he gets loose on the entry there, the tunnel turn. And it looks like I was right. He does have a little bit of left front damage on that. Don't seem to be hurting him too bad as he is side by side with Ed Morris there. Ed moves up just a little bit, leaves him plenty of room on the bottom there as he touches the yellow line there.
Yeah, starting to single out here up front. These guys are going to just get in line and wait for mistakes or try to let their tires come to them.
Yeah, and that'll start to trickle back further through the field once these guys finish battling for position. These guys will all be single file here before too long, but there's always going to be a battle here unless it goes to a long, long green flag run. Right now, they're only about 5 laps into this run. And our leader, the number 30 of Todd Sargent, he's got about a 3.5 second lead over the 94 Troy Rafford. And we've talked about Troy race after race. The number 94, he's had trouble but he's also been fast, pretty much dominated at New Hampshire last week. What's the last race, right?
Yeah, New Hampshire. Yeah, he dominated and got past with 2 to go. He just was little short on fuel. Had to just barely save for 2 laps to make it. Tried to get everything he could on a points day, but it's kind of heartbreaking for him. But man, he's always in the hunt to win a race here.
Yeah, that was a crazy finish, you know, thinking Troy Rafford had it in the bag, and then 2 to go, he just backs up, and then Ed Morris comes out of nowhere. You know, what a great job by Ed Morris. So I'm pulling for Ed Morris. I want to see somebody win 3 in a row. That's something that hasn't been done here, at least in a while.
And it seems like when somebody's going for that, and you know, nothing ever goes their way, like he had to go right to the back of the field, but he's making his way up, man. And if anybody can do it, I believe he can.
Yeah, and I probably shouldn't, you know, talk about it a whole lot. You know how the broadcast curse goes. I've been affected by it before, and plenty of people have, and it's real. It's a real thing, man. You start talking about somebody. We are under caution right now. Looks like
it was JJ who seen him get loose.
The 35 still looks clean. Still got straight fenders. Everything looks fine there. As he wiggles a little bit, trying to get the thing going back straight.
He just got a little bump from our buddy we were talking about there. It looks like I have to go on the replay and see if that's what you've seen. But
yeah, we'll take a look at it. Let's go back first, and let's take a look at the 35 here of JJ Garrett. See what happened to him as he come off of turn number 2, I believe. I'm sorry, 1. I believe there was a little bit of contact right there. Ed Morris gets down on the apron a little bit, wiggles it, and we'll go back one more time just to get another look at it from the cockpit here of the 35 machine, and let's see if we can make that a little bit better for you. Oh, he wiggles. Ron Holyfield wiggles. And wham, right there, the contact happens. He slides, and I don't.
Yeah, it looks like Ed was just carrying a lot more speed than those guys, and they kind of checked up, and he really had nowhere to go here. And great job by JJ by keeping off the inside wall, man. That was close.
Yeah, we're looking at this one more time. Just that little bit of a wiggle there, and Ed Morris gets on the apron. And, you know, there wasn't a whole lot of room for Ed Morris there anyways. So, yeah.
That was definitely wasn't on purpose there. It's kind of one of them racing things.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's one thing, man. Just trying to come back up through the front. He's got a fast car. He knows it. Just got to be patient.
All right, well, they're coming down on the pit road here for the second time tonight. Caution number 2. Here for the 2018 Demon Sim Works Cup Series, the United Southern Racing League, race number 11 in Pocono. And if you're out there watching, let me know who's your pick tonight to win. Dustin, you got a pick?
Yeah, I think I'm with you a little bit. Our guy's kind of down just a hair, and I'd like to see him come up there and dice it up. He's definitely made it more exciting this season. Talking about Ed Moore, Sam.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Very, very good driver, man. We've seen him do good in last season. You know, he had good finishes, strong races. He's really put it together this year.
I would totally agree. And I know Ed Morris's old man's out there watching this. At least he usually is. So if you're out there watching, man, hey, good luck to your son, the Marine.
Looks like our leader got beat off pit road there.
Then we got a new leader, KR Stolfus. KR took a gamble, it looks like. Dustin, looks like KR might have took 2 tires there on pit road and come out ahead of these guys. 77, a new leader here, as we're going to restart here.
I think he might have want to get on the SRTV broadcast, Jerry.
Hey, well, we'll let you get a word in with him. Let's see. Let's see if we can get him.
It was a good pit stop. Just a good old-fashioned good pit stop.
Hey there, KR. This is Dustin up in the SRTV booth. You got a copy, bud?
Yeah, I do. What's going on?
Not much, man. It's not used to seeing you on this side of the racing. We used to seeing you up in the booth calling races for RFC and Max Speed TV. What do you think tonight? What's your chances, and what was your strategy there on pit road?
Well, let's see. My chances are slim to none. However, my strategy was I haven't used any of my tires because I'm out here crawling around. So I took right sides only, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, man, it's good to see you out here. I see a few other guys from RFC out here going to try to fill this field up. Looks like you get maybe your first start in the USRL. Good luck, man. You're never short for words, and maybe we'll talk to you later on the broadcast.
Man, I appreciate it, and thanks for bringing me up here, and I hope I put on a show but not become a hazard.
It's in for, man.
KR is crazy, man. Oh, man. He said slim to none.
Yeah, I think we heard him talking to his crew chief there before he realized he was in the booth with us.
Yeah, he said he had a great pit stop, of course. Yeah, he had a great pit stop, but he also took 2 tires here, so it's going to be interesting to see how it reacts there on the restart. He's got a lot of guys around him with 4 fresh ones, and they're going to be looking to put their dog in the hunt.
Yeah, he said he was crawling around, so he might be taking a different approach. He thinks he don't really use much, hadn't really used much tire out there, so he took right sides only. We'll see how it fares for him here.
Yeah, and I think, you know, he was only out there for about 6 laps or so, so we'll see. It shouldn't be too bad for him. If it is, he knows what to do. Just got a good-looking race car, though. Number 77 out there. And it looks good leading him around. And you're right, we usually don't see him on this side of the deal. He's usually up here in the booth calling some great races, man. I've been in plenty of those races, but this time it's me, and I'm watching him. So it's going to be on him this time. The pace car getting set to pull off on the pit road. KR Stolfus about to put that loud pedal to work. And he does it. The 94 Troy Rafford. He times that one pretty good, but just not good enough. KR Stolfus gets out into a nice lead there, about 2.5 tenths here as they head off into turn number 1. The first battle side by side is the 81 and the 42. They're for 5th position there. Kenneth Dale Osmond also in the mix there. Kenneth awful fast there out there at Pocono, the 81. We're watching him right now, and we already got a battle. Troy Rafford putting the pressure on KR. KR pulls up just a little bit, gives him that room, but that's all the room he needed. Now Tommy Haynes trying to make it happen there while the door's open. And also the 30 of Todd Sargent. He slides right on by there. Here comes KD Osmond. And the 81 looks like a little bit of contact with the outside walls. He comes off of turn number 4. And looks like KR's back to 5th right now. So
That answers our question on tires here. You're never going to want to take 4 every time, I believe.
absolutely, yeah. You know, it seems to be. I don't gamble too much out there, Dustin. You know that. Usually 4 tires. I might take fuel, might not if I need it, but I always take 4 tires. The only time I would take 2 would be on maybe a 5 to go. I don't know. That's really not even my style. So, you know, everybody's a little bit different. It just depends on how the tires are working on this on the track that night. So, you know, it's a tricky subject.
Yeah, I don't know. It's his first race here, and just trying to get a feel of things. Maybe want to see what it felt like up front. Just a little test there for later on, maybe.
We got a nice little gap between our 5th place driver, the 42 of Eric Driggins, and John T. Wimbish. It's about a 9/10 of a second separating 5th and 6th, and we're watching these guys run down the backstretch here. Let's see, our closest battle on the racetrack right now would have to be, looks like everybody's about the same distance apart there. KD Osmond, he's going to be one to watch, so let's watch this 81 machine. KD up to 4th right now. Running strong as well, too. So his first victim here is the 17 and Tommy Haynes. He's got his sights on him right now. Tommy Haynes, Todd Sargent, and Troy Radford ahead of him.
Yeah, we've raced with KD quite a bit over the last 2 years, and man, he's really developed to a good driver. He's very clean too, man. He's trying to get his feet wet out here. I think he might be in this league next season. We got a lot of guys trying to come in after seeing how good of a league that John's been doing and running. These guys are having a lot of fun and putting on a good show for us.
Yeah, I'm glad to see a lot of cars show up here tonight. I believe it was 19 or 20 cars here tonight after the holidays. It was a little bit slow. They took a week or two off, and then, their first race back, not everybody could show up. So tonight, we got a good field here at Pocono, and we got a good race going on right now. It's Troy Radford leading them around out there in that 94 machine. But he's got that 30 of Todd Sargent, man. And Todd Sargent, we haven't talked about him a whole lot here tonight. But Todd, man, he got a win right before Ed Morris started dominating and won those last 2 races. So Todd Sargent was in victory lane not too long ago. 3 races ago?
Yeah, I believe it was the one right before he started his streak there.
Yeah, so Todd's...
No, it was before Michigan. I'm not sure which track we were at there.
Yeah, so he's no stranger to victory lane. He knows how to get it done, and he is all over Troy Radford right now, making Troy, keeping Troy honest, I guess, as he pulls to the inside here. He tries to make a move on the straightaway here, and he is to the inside of Troy Radford. Radford does not fight him too much there. And now we have lost the 30 machine.
There he's, yeah, I was about to say, he's back now. I see him.
All right. Yeah, the 30 of Todd Sargent kind of had a connection issue for just a second there, but now he's got about a 2-car gap between him and second place Radford there. And KD Osmond takes over the number 3 spot from Tommy Haynes. And now he's up to the back bumper of Troy Radford. He's there.
And Troy does a good job in these races. He's always, like we said, a factor to win, but I'm willing to bet he's one of the only guys that's led multiple laps in probably every race this season.
I would have to agree with that, Dustin. Yeah, he's always up front, and he qualifies really well, but like we said earlier, seems to find trouble somewhere out there during the race. And, the luck factor, he doesn't have the best of luck. You got to be lucky.
Yeah, lucky. A lot of luck comes with racing. Being good, and it's not good enough, I don't think. But if you run good, luck seems to find you.
Here comes KD.
KD is impressing me right now with how good he's adapting to this car. I'm not sure how much practice he has in a Cup car. I don't really see him run those much, but man, he's really putting it down tonight.
Yeah, he looked to make a move on Radford there, and he thought otherwise there, so he decided to back off. So he's still in 3rd right now. And he's trying to figure out where he wants to make that move at here at Pocono. Where's the best place to make a move at Pocono there, Dustin? You say going down into turn 1? Any turn, going on the entry? Try to get your nose in there or something?
The best place I've found to do it here is either setting them up coming into 3, get a good run off of 3 coming down that front straightaway. If you can get inside of somebody, usually you got the position, or either going into turn 3. I mean, right at the end of the straightaways is probably your best bet.
Yeah, I like to put the pressure on them, man, and make them go into the corner a little crazy, and then you get a good run off, man, because these long straightaways, it opens up a big door of opportunity there, because if you can mess them up coming off of a corner, man, they will not get up to speed, and you can make that move and pretty much pass them there all in one straight.
Yeah, if you miss your turn, it really kills your straightaway speed here, because straightaways are so long. I think the front straightaway here at Pocono is the longest in in NASCAR. It almost looks like a runway. But yeah, so very critical on how you get in these turns and, you know, letting off braking points and getting back to the gas.
Yeah, consistency here at Pocono plays a big role. Being consistent, definitely taking care of your equipment here. Sometimes it's a little tricky coming off of turn 3. You got to get it right up next to that outside wall. Sometimes it gets a little tight. Sometimes it's a little loose. Not sure how the car reacting out there tonight. Maybe we can talk to one of these drivers and find out how the car is treating them here. Is it loose? Is it tight? Is it perfect? You know, rarely will it be perfect. You just got to make the best of it most of the time.
Yeah, and this track is fairly warm still. I mean, we started at 106 and it's only cooled down to 101. And the air temp's 80 degrees, so that's quite a bit of heat held in this track. That's not helping these tires much at all.
Well, I'm looking around on all the data here, and I kind of went back and watched Keith Dunn there. He was starting to move up on, I believe it was Ed Morris or Ron Holyfield. Let's take a look. These guys back here are battling the 76 in the mix. He's actually being scored a lap down, Chris Garrett, but he is right in front of Ron Holyfield there. Ron Holyfield, the number 2 machine. Ed Morris, he's right there in the mix there as well. The number 7 machine is, and then Keith Dunn right behind them. Ron Holyfield just kind of staying quiet, getting his work done out there. Currently in 7th. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go back up front where Todd Sargent is leading these guys around as we watch Troy Radford just barely nick the outside wall there coming off the corner. Let's ride around here at a lap at Pocono with Todd Sargent, our race leader. Little bit of contact on the exit there, Dustin, and opened up the door for Troy Radford. Slowed down Todd Sargent just enough for Troy to take over that lead, and Troy overdrives turn 1. Todd Sargent and Katie Osmond both down on the bottom of the racetrack here as they are almost side by side. Katie Osmond moves to the high side there as Todd Sargent and Troy Radford go side by side to the entry of the tunnel turn here. Turn number 2.
Yeah, you can tell these tires are starting to wear out. These guys are pushing up. They're not hitting their marks. They're racing. And also, I wanted to point out, these guys are shifting right now.
Oh, they're driving these things out there, man. They're driving hard, and you're right. Katie Osmond down, all the way down below the yellow line there. I'm not sure if that'll help that car turn. Sometimes you get down there enough, it'll help that car turn. It's the, you know, hard part's getting it down there, but he got it down there. Still in 3rd right now. Looks like Todd Sargent's able to hold off KD Osmond, and Troy Radford, he's back up front.
Yeah, that's one thing we really didn't touch on. I kind of forgot about here, but yeah, once the tires start wearing, you'll hear these guys start shifting down in the 3rd gear, try to help them get that bite off the turn and get that straightaway speed.
We got a 3-way battle here for the lead. I mean, these guys all over each other up front here, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And one little mistake between any of these drivers, and the spots could change hands at any moment here. So we're going to keep an eye on these guys. We do have a couple other close battles going on. And the caution is out. There it is, Dustin.
Yeah, I heard some banging going on here. Like we were talking, man, it's starting to heat up here. Tire wear is starting to play an issue. which is good to see as a fan. So.
All right, well, let's go back and look at it on the replay. It looks like the 42 of Eric Driggins and the 35 of JJ Garrett was involved. So let's go look. Oh, we missed it. Heading into the tunnel turn all over the back of Keith Dunn. There it is. The contact happened between the 35 and the 42. It sends them off down to the bottom of the racetrack there. That's going to be caution number 3 tonight. Our third caution here, 34 laps into this one. And looks like JJ Garrett had a little bit of trouble getting it back going again, but let's go take a look one more time, this time from the cockpit of the 35, as he is all over Keith Dunn here as they race off of turn 2, headed to the tunnel turn. Looks like we got a slower car there. They were approaching there, the 69, and then there it is. The contact happened right there, and that really hurt the 35 here of JJ Garrett. We were riding with. Don't look like he got a whole lot of damage out of it, but it looked like quite a bit of a hit that he took, and he does have some damage showing on his car as he has a little bit of trouble trying to get it back going straight after that happened. Let's go back live here as these drivers are on their way down pit road. Well, it's a perfect opportunity to get a word in with one of these drivers, and you know, a couple drivers out there has been doing a great job, been kind of quiet. We haven't talked to Tommy Hayes as well as Ron Holyfield. I've never got to talk to Ron Holyfield, man. I think it would be awesome to be able to talk to him. Not sure if we got him on the radio. I don't believe we do. So we'll have to pass on Ron Holyfield. But hey, Ron, if you watch this back, man, come on over to the USRL so we'll be able to get a word in with you. But anybody you would like to talk to there, Dustin, or anybody out there watching, would you like to talk to somebody? Let me know who it is and what you want to ask them. These guys are coming off of pit road now. They've already made their pit stops, and they're going to be out there pacing around for another lap or two. So we got a second.
Yeah, we got one guy we hadn't really talked about was John T. I almost forgot he was in this race until I looked up on the scoreboard here.
Yeah, I've been watching the scoreboard, and you know, John's been running pretty strong there, you know, somewhere around 5th, 6th, 7th position all night. So he's there. He's just kind of out there. Not sure if that's part of his strategy, just kind of hanging out and waiting for that right moment to attack, which would be later on in the race. You know, to finish first, you must first finish, I always say. And right now he's in the in that kind of strategy. So,
and he was tied for the point standings, right?
Yeah, well, you know, the chase just started. So let's take a look at the points real quick here. I'll put them up on the screen. So the way it works is this is the first race of the chase, so the points were reset. John T. Wimbish and Ed Morris, they had the most bonus points for wins and stuff like that, so they are tied for that #1 spot. Actually, John's 5 points ahead of him, and then we got Ed Morris and Troy Rafford tied for second. So that's how that works.
Okay.
Yeah, so John Wimbish is 5 points ahead of Ed Morris. Then we got Ed Morris, Troy Rafford tied for second, and then Todd Sargent, Chris Stump, they're tied with 10 points back. 15 points back looks like Tommy Haynes, Bruce Potter, and you know, everybody from there on back are 15 points out of the lead here. So yeah, look, John Wimbish coming into the chase as the points leader. That's a perfect opportunity to get a word in with John T. Wimbish. Here comes Darren Clement, says, as the words were coming out of my mouth. So let's pull up John T. And I'll ask him. John T. Wimbish, it's Jay Weezy. You got me?
Yeah, buddy, I got you.
Man, you've been quiet out there, but you've been consistently running there in the top 5, somewhere around 5th, 6th. How's the car feel, man? How's the track tonight? Is it loose, tight?
Yeah, it's real tight, to be honest with you. You know, we run 65% fuel, so that makes it even tighter. Over the run, it gets a little bit worse here. The biggest problem I'm having is getting through that dog leg back here, trying to find the right spot to get out of it and get back in it. It's just messing with me some. I really don't like this track. It'd be fine with me if they just tore it down and made a horse racing track out of it or something better, or drag strip. Don't care for it, but you know, it's on here, so we got to do it every once in a while. But it's a challenge for sure.
Oh, absolutely, man. And you know, tonight, the first race of the chase, coming in as the points leader, man. How's that feel?
I like it's good, man. You had a real good, consistent season so far. Things change during chase time. People get a little more aggressive and do some crazy things, but just got to stay out of trouble here. Goal for tonight really just try to get a top 5 or so. I don't think I'm as fast as 2 or 3 of these guys up here, but we'll see what happens. Anything is possible if you
That's
believe.
right. Oh yeah, man. And you're on pace for a top 5, man. Like I said, you've been kind of riding quietly there in around 5th position. So good luck, man. We'll let you go back to work.
All right, bud. Appreciate it.
John T. Wimbish, man, the legend. He said make a horse track out of it, didn't he?
Yeah, he like I said, some people don't like this track, but you know, some people love it. It's just one of those things, man.
Yeah.
It's just a very challenging track with the flat turns and the long straightaways. It's just so hard to get these cars low down and get them to go where you want them to go.
Yeah, it makes it tough when it's you know, the car's tight too. And Chris Stump said, "Ask Tommy how his hairless cats are."
Yeah, I actually seen that on Facebook a couple weeks ago. I was like, "Whoa!"
Oh,
I don't know how I feel about this.
I wish he was out there, but hey, man, thanks for watching, Chris. Appreciate it. All right, we're live here, and these guys are getting set to go back to green flag racing here. Lap number 37 be 38 when they cross the line this time by. It's going to be Troy Radford that's in control, and he's going to throw that loud pedal down as far as he can here as he smashes down the straightaway and off into turn number 1 with Katie Osmond on the outside here. Tommy Haynes and Todd Sargent, Ron Holyfield's your top 5, and here we go.
Yeah, closing in on halfway here. We had a very interesting race so far, and these guys ain't going to hold up, I don't believe. Got a battle for the lead here. Like Kenneth thought about going low. He kind of messed himself up, I think, a little bit, and Troy's starting to pull away here.
Looks like the top 3, top 4 cars have went single file. Keith Dunn trying to make a move a little bit further back. Let's keep an eye on those guys back there. Keith Dunn, the 03. It's like teal green or baby blue, whatever you may call it. The real tree, number 03 there. Wiggles off into turn number 3. And he's got the 35 there of J.J. Garrett alongside him, and a hard hit on the outside wall. Eric Driggins right in front of, looks like the 5 of Charlie Widner with nowhere to go. And cautions, precautions, which, oh no, the point standings. Oh, the point standings. I forgot about that, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, we'll go back and take a look on the replay. Make sure you didn't miss any of that, man, because we had a nice little battle going on here on that restart. So let's take a look at it. Sorry about that. Charlie Widner running tail end of the field here. The 42's the one that had the trouble. Eric Driggins is up here. He got into it with the outside wall. The outside wall won that battle, and it knocked him plumb down into the inside wall and back up the track. And that's where the 5 of Charlie Widner was coming here, and we're gonna take a good look at it right here. He just spins it, tries to lock it down. Charlie Widner just couldn't avoid that one. Let's take a ride with Charlie on that one, because I bet you Charlie, man, he's seen it from a mile away but couldn't predict which way to go. And in those situations, Dustin, you only got a split second to make that move. And He's got the 59 on his inside. Bruce Potter there for a second. So, wow. I hate to see it for Charlie Widner. As you see how fast it happened there for him. And that's going to do it for Charlie, man. I'm pretty sure the number 5 machine took a hard hit right there. And also the 42, which initially started that whole mess there, getting into the outside wall. He's going to have a lot of damage there because he hit the wall and the 5 machine got into him. So I hate to see that for those guys. And that puts these cars back under caution. So they're out there running laps. So this is the perfect time to get in an interview. So if there's somebody you'd like to talk to, you know what to do. We got Charlie Widner, Chris Garrett, JJ Garrett, Troy Rafford, Doug Johnson, Katie Osmond. We've already talked to KR Stolfus, Bruce Potter, Keith Dunn, Todd Sargent, Trent Potter, Ed Morris, Eric Driggins, Jerry Glenn, Michael Thwaites. Those are the choices. We got Tommy Haynes out there, so we could probably get a word in with him from Demon Racing. So take your pick. So we got some cars did not come down pit row or what? Let's see. Looks like the top 6 cars didn't enter pit row here this time by. Yeah, they have stayed out. So Troy Rafford, Katie Osmond, Tommy Haynes, Todd Sargent, KR Stolfus, and Jerry Glenn opted not to come down pit row this time after running. They've been out there for 6 laps. So I believe they had about 2 laps on their tire and maybe 3. So not a whole lot of damage done to that rubber on that tire. Let's see if we can pull up Tommy Haynes because he is one of the drivers that did not come down pit row. Let's find out what his strategy is with that. So he might know something that we don't know. Tommy Haynes, this is Jay Weezy. You got a copy.
I'm clear, Jay. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, man, it's been a while since I talked to you, but it's always good to hear your voice, man. How you doing out there, man? How's the car? You look fast.
I'm just trying to survive here. There's a couple guys here in front of me that's shifting, and they beat me a little bit. I ain't too crazy about shifting. Afraid I might blow it up, but I think on the long run, I might be all right here.
Yeah, I would have to agree about the shifting. It is a lot harder on the equipment, so you know, you might be doing the right thing. You might have to just kind of sit back and watch. These guys might end up doing some damage to their machine. How's the car feeling?
It ain't too bad. Just a little tight. Got to let off a little earlier in the corners after on a little run there because it wants to push up to the wall real bad. But other than that, it ain't too bad.
Hey, it's awesome, man. Well, it's good to talk to you, Tommy, man. You look good out there. Hopefully you can get it done tonight.
Thank you, Jerry. Y'all do an excellent job, too. Look forward to watching it afterwards.
Hey, good deal, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, bud.
All right, my bad. I was getting some stuff done there. While we're under caution, I was trying to take care of some stuff, so some camera work under caution. Never hurt anybody. Trying to make the race better for you guys out there watching. Tommy Haynes said they're shifting on him, and you know, they're a little bit faster because of it, but he's afraid it might hurt the motor on the car. So, and I've seen that happen. Dustin, you know, these guys shifting out there, putting some strain on that motor, and it ends up blowing up there on the longer run. Well, let's take a look at what we got going on. Troy Rafford, KD Osmond, Tommy Haynes, your top 3, Todd Sargent, KR Stolfus, Jerry Glenn. All those guys stayed out there. And I believe the first one we have on fresh tires would be JJ Garrett in the 35. He's in 7th. Ron Holyfield right there in 8th. Chris Garrett in the 76 and Keith Dunn rounds out the top 10. Those 4 guys on fresh tires, but they got 6 cars in front of them that's gonna make it hard for them. So we'll see what happens there. These guys out there pacing around right now. These long pace laps at Pocono Raceway. It's one of the reasons out of, you know, many that, well, not a whole lot, but out of many that people decide that they don't like Pocono. You know, the long caution flags and the tricky triangle.
Yeah, it's a very difficult track, like we've been saying the whole race, to get around. There's a lot of, I don't know, it's kind of a challenge. I kind of like challenges. You know, this is kind of one of my favorite tracks, at least the old surface. I hadn't really done many races here on this new surface, but pretty fun place, man, when it comes down to all the elements that get involved.
Yeah, I don't mind it either, man. You know, Pocono is it's not my favorite, you know, but I don't hate it. I don't like it a whole lot, but I have fun out there, man, at Pocono. So I've had a lot of fun races with you, by the way. So we've had some fun out there at this track, man, and it's a tricky track, man. You know, a little different than all the other tracks, so it makes it interesting. Change, it's not bad. You know, it's not bad to have change. Of course, I like the 1.5 miles like everybody else, you know. I like those. I really am not a fan of the road courses. I'm not a road driver.
Yeah, that's what makes championship battle so fun, though. Different tracks, you know.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It's not, you know, like we've been saying, not everybody likes Pocono and not everybody likes Michigan, so, you know, it gives a little bit of something for everybody, and, well, whoever can do the best out of all can come through and get this thing.
Absolutely. These guys are doubled up, and the pace car is going to open up the track to them and let them go down into turn number 1. Troy Rafford, Katie Osmond on the front row. Second row is Tommy Haynes and Todd Sargent. And right behind them is K.R. Stolfus and Jerry Glenn. Here we go. Green flag racing one more time here at Pocono. And we just passed halfway here of an 80-lap race. 44 laps into it, to be exact here. Troy Rafford, Katie Osmond, and Tommy Haynes, single file, nose to tail up front. And let me see, 42 still on the racing track right now on the lead lap. Scored in 14th position there, Darren. We got a battle going on up here. It looks like K.R. Stolfus and J.J. Garrett going at it, as well as Chris Garrett there in the 76.
And there's one guy in second place here. He has nothing to lose, nothing to gain here. Just try to get a win. Katie Osmond. I think he's got some people out watching too. I think his grandmother watches these races he does, so pretty sure she's cheering him on at home.
Yeah, and he's just inching his way ever so slightly up towards the first position right now. He's in second, so he's only got one more car before he takes over control of this one. And I said it earlier, I said, hey man, he's gonna be a force to be reckoned with.
And that's what makes him so dangerous. He's fast and has nothing to lose, so Troy's kind of got to play his cards right here. Don't get too much in his way, you know, try to let him make the mistake instead of yourself.
And he is all over Troy Rafford right now. Lap number 46 here. Katie Osmond's to the back bumper as they enter the tunnel turn here. Troy Rafford still your race leader with a 94 machine. You're looking at him. If I was Troy, I would be a little bit concerned, you know, having KD Osmond behind me. He knows KD maybe a little bit better than I do. You know, I've just raced with him quite a bit, so I kind of know how fast he is and, you know, which tracks he's fast at. I know he's fast at tracks like this. He's usually fast at all of them, but yeah, I'd be getting a little bit nervous there seeing the 81. He hasn't seen the 81 in his rearview mirror all night because he's been working his way up through the field, but now he's there, so he's probably got those thoughts going through his mind. Like, where'd he come from, you know? Where? Oh, it's KD. Oh, no. They kind of separated themselves right here from Tommy Haynes a little bit. It's probably about 4 or 5 car lengths separating Tommy Haynes from KD Osmond there, second and third. Then we got Todd Sargent running strong in that number 4 spot. Chris Garrett right there in the 76 running in the top 5. Jerry Glenn as well. Let's take a look at Jerry Glenn. We haven't talked about him right now. He's in the number 97 here, running 6th. Having a great run out there from trouble again. The 35 one more time has trouble coming off a 2. And what a night it's been for JJ Garrett out there at Pocono. He has been involved in, I believe, almost every one of these cautions tonight. And he's going to hang it up. It looks like that might be the final straw. He's probably had enough by now. Let's take a look on the replay and see what happened to JJ Garrett. Oh, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it looks like he might have just hit that apron right there. The car wiggles, and then it snaps on him. He taps the wall a little bit, spins it around right in front of Keith Dunn. Keith Dunn had nowhere to go. He got it out of the way of the track, all the cars that were coming there as quickly and as best he could. But it does bring out another caution flag. So Keith Dunn with nowhere to go ends up with some front end damage on his machine. Let's take a look one more time, because Keith Dunn, it might have been another one of those things where, you know, it just happens so fast, nowhere to go. As you see, the 35 wiggle in front of him. He lifts and he slams on the brakes, but he just can't get it wound down quick enough because the wall slowed down JJ a lot faster than Keith Dunn's brakes did his own. So, man, I hate to see it for Keith Dunn, man. Keith Dunn, trouble for Keith Dunn, man. I hate it.
Yeah, he was having a solid run there. Kind of got caught up in something out of his control. And that's part of it, man. But it's never fun when it happens.
Yeah, I mean, and it just shows you how tricky it is. You know, let's go live here. These guys getting ready to come down pit road, but you know, like what just happened right there with the 35. He just barely touched the bottom of the track there. The car wiggles a little bit. Looks like he's fine, and then all of a sudden it snaps again. So he never had full control of it once he had hit that apron and it broke free. Then it just snapped on him, you know. So I've had that done plenty of times to me. It's happened plenty of times. So I know what it actually happened to me the other night, where I ended up coming off of turn number 4 at Kentucky, and it kind of wiggles a little bit. I catch it, and then it wiggles, and I catch it again. And then by the time it come all the way around on me, I was almost at the start-finish line. So, you know, you can only chase it as far as you can chase it before it just actually either, you know, straightens back up for you or comes on around here. It looks like the 94 Troy Radford wins the race off of pit road, and he's got KD Osmond there right behind him in second. Tommy Haynes comes off pit road in third. Todd Sargent in fourth. Ed Morris up to fifth here after dropping back a little bit here on that first caution. I believe he had trouble on pit road, he said, and it put him back further in the pack there. Jerry Glenn comes off seventh there in the 97. Chris Garrett, the 76. He comes off pit road in eighth. John Wimbish back to ninth after running up in the top 5 earlier. And to round out the top 10, the number 2, Ron Hollyfield, and the Hardee's machine. All right, well, hey, we're back under caution here one more time, so let's find somebody to talk to. Scan the radio and pull up one of these drivers. Jerry Glenn, Ed Morris. We've already talked to Ed. Todd Sargent, we haven't talked to him yet, have we?
No, I don't believe so.
Well, hey, there's no better time than now, than the current. So let's see if we can find old Todd Sargent. Let's see, Todd Sargent's down from TNT Motorsports. So let's get on TNT Motorsports and see if we can talk to him. Todd Sargent, you got a copy?
Yeah, man, I got you.
Hey, man, you parked it in Victory Lane, what was it, 3 races ago, man, and then Ed Morris won the last 2. So you're no stranger at Victory Lane. You got a fast car tonight. What's your chances on bringing this one home?
Yeah, I enjoyed running the Indies. This track's a lot like Indianapolis was. Started out pretty strong. I burnt my tires up early. I'm trying to save a little bit here. Hope I can run down these guys in front of me.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think you got anything to worry about. I think you got something for those guys, man. You just get up there to them. Tommy Haynes, Katie Osmond, and Troy Rafford there in front of you. Starting there in the 4th position on the outside, man, what's going to be the hardest part about that?
I've been trying to be patient, let guys go if they're inside of me. It's pretty narrow spaces here, especially the tunnel turn. You don't ever want to go in there too wide, of course, so I'll try to be patient and take my time and see what happens.
All right, man. Well, hey, we won't keep you, man. We appreciate you coming up here and giving away all the good information. Good luck out there, and hey, hopefully we catch you down in Victory Lane later.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank y'all.
See you, bud. All right, he's down in TNT Motorsports. Todd Sargent. Take a look at some of the teams out there. We got Demon Racing, that's John Wimbish and Tommy Haynes. Highline Racing, and looks like Chris Garrett. And, you know, I'd love to fix that right there. You see all that blurriness? Let's just go back. I'll show y'all how to show y'all how to do some camera work. So you pull that up, man, you adjust this right here. Bam. You throw it back down, and hey, you go back live. All right, so we got WB3 Motorsports. That's Troy Rafford, Doug Johnson, Katie Osmond, and KR Stolfus. Those guys are down in there. And I'm not sure if they're all on WB3 or not, but we got TNT Motorsports, Bruce Potter, Keith Dunn, and Todd Sargent. AMS, it looks like Ed Morris, Eric Driggins, and Jerry Glenn, as well as Michael Thwaites. Some of the teams over here at the United Southern Racing League. I think the 81 is going to spoil Troy's W. Well, I tell you what, man, I've said that in my head. I haven't said it out loud, but I'm just repeating what you said now. I don't want Troy mad at me. But I do think Troy does know he's there. He's probably got him in the back of his mind a little bit. At least if he don't, he better. He worked his way up towards the front. He's there now, so we'll see what happens here. If he can time the restart pretty good, he probably got a shot at Troy on this one.
Yeah, I think Troy has maybe the car and the wit to beat KD, you know, just by being here every week. But Troy, we have seen Troy beat himself a few times, so that's going to come into play. He's got to keep his wits about him here and run a good race within 30 laps to go. So if it's anything like it's been, it's going to be exciting.
Absolutely. We got Troy Rafford and KD Osmond starting on the front row here one more time. Tommy Haynes and Todd Sargent right behind them as the green flag comes out. Edward Morris and Jerry Glenn in that 3rd row. Top 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cars get through turn 1 cleanly. The 81 is all over Troy Radford right now on this restart. Tommy Haynes, he timed that restart pretty good, and he is following suit there as they come through the tunnel turn and down towards turn number 3.
Yeah, we heard Tommy in his interview with us earlier. He's not one of these guys that's shifting out here.
Well, I don't know if he decided to start shifting or not, but he's figured something out because he is fast. He's all over it. Kenneth Dale Osmond right now as Troy Radford separates himself just a little bit there. These guys are all single file. It looks like the 56 of John T. Wimbish is looking to the inside of the 76. The 76 pinches him down. John Wimbish hits the apron there. The 76 gets away. John looks like he had a little lifted just a little bit there after having some trouble. Once he hit the apron there, the 76 might not have known he was there. Either that or he's just kind of playing a little bit of defense there, but that allowed Jerry Glenn to get around John Wimbish, and now Keith Dunn is all over the back end of him. John Wimbish, one of the cars that's still clean out there. I don't see a scratch on it right now. Him and Jerry Glenn as well. Jerry's got a very good-looking car.
And John said he was battling, you know, a tight condition here, and this makes for a very long race at Pocono with a tight car.
And we got Ron Holyfield looking to make a move here. Keith Dunn and Ron Holyfield side by side off of turn number 2. They're going to drag race down the backstretch here and into the tunnel turn. Looks like Keith Dunn going to get out in front of Ron Holyfield there for a second. Ron going to have to take another shot at it. Let's go back up front and watch this battle because Troy Radford's still trying to hold off Katie Osmond. And they've separated themselves there from third place. Tommy Haynes just out in front of Todd Sargent and Ed Morris as they are battling for the number 4 spot there. Todd Sargent clears Ed Morris there on the straightaway. As they go back single file, it looks like John Wimbish starting to make a move here on Jerry Glenn. Contact. John with a nice save as he loses it just a little bit after that contact. And he manages to hang on to it and still complete that pass there. Jerry Glenn moves it on up in there to the inside of the 56. And they are still side by side. Ron Holyfield's got a show in front of him. Front row seats on this one. Jerry Glenn throws a block on Ron Holyfield. And things are heating up here. We still got a little bit over 20 laps to go, Dustin.
Yeah, man, these guys are battling for every single spot out here tonight, man. And John, he's just trying to survive. These other guys, they don't care. They're just trying to get everything they can get out of it.
Yeah, I think John's finally separated himself from that, and he's trying to get away from them now. And that's going to leave Ron Holyfield to battle with Jerry Glenn now. And these two guys will go at it head to head. As Tommy Haynes still running in third, trying to pull up to Kenneth Dale Osmond, but he's still got a 1 second gap between him and second place there. Katie Osmond's 10th and a half behind Troy Radford. So up front, nothing's changed. Still 1, 2, 3. Single file. Todd Sargent in 4th. Ed Morris, he's in 5th right now. So we'll try to find another battle to watch. But our closest battle on the track right now is that of Troy Radford and KD Osmond, these guys up front.
Yeah, KD just pulled out. He's got to run. He's making a move down in turn 1 here. Looks like he's going to clear Troy.
He's got the position.
Troy's just going to let him go like we were just talking about. Troy, you know, really can't beat himself up, kind of try to force KD into a mistake. A lot on the line for Troy here. KD, not so much.
Well, let's see how KD can act. Let's see how KD reacts with Troy Radford in his mirror now. He's not the one putting the pressure on. He's the one being pressured here by the 94. And let's see if he can hold off Troy here for another 22 or so laps.
And like me and you've talked in the past, Jerry, it's a lot easier to follow a guy than it is to, you know, lead a guy in any track, and especially here at Pocono.
Yeah, and you know, one of the reasons is that you know, when you're behind somebody, you're reacting off of them. You know, you're focused on them. You can watch them when they hit the brake. You get on the brake when they do, or whatever. Then once you get around them, now it's on you to find those braking points yourself. You know, those markers that you're using on the track. You gotta, you're the one out there. So yeah, it makes it a little bit more difficult. But we'll find out if Troy Rafford, you know, now that KD's got a clean track in front of him, is he going to be a lot faster than Troy Rafford and start to pull away? It looks like it so far. He's already opened up a 2.5, 10-second lead over Troy.
Well, I think Troy, I was just thinking here, these guys cannot make it on fuel, so maybe that's what Troy's thinking about here. He's trying to get maybe set up for pit road under green flag conditions here. He may try to short pit these guys. We'll see what can happen here. Troy's definitely got a car out front, I think, that could possibly win this thing. I ain't going to take anything away from KD, but we've seen Troy make very good decisions when it comes to pit stops. You know when to hit pit road early, and when to take advantage of those fresh tires where everybody else is on the old tires.
Yeah, you know, and speaking of pit stops, you know, we're not going to be able to make it under, you know, they're not going to be able to make it to the end. So pit stops might come into play here, and who can get on and off pit road the fastest and whatnot. So we'll see. We hadn't had to make a green flag pit stop just yet this race, so maybe they won't have to if they get another caution here from now on out. Then they won't have to make green flag pit stops because we know they can get, you said, around 18 or 20 laps. And right now we're approaching that mark. So if a caution comes out from here on out, oh, there it is. Caution's out. See? Every time I say it.
Oh, man, this is action-packed race tonight.
Yeah, man.
I thought we'd have, man. I really thought this would be a clean race, but it is the first race of the chase. Or of their championship battle, 5-race battle here.
Yeah, we're going to go back and look on the replays. Hang tight just for a second. Trying to find out where our caution come from. I think I found it now.
Yeah, the 77 car here, the Dukes of Hazzard, or the Duke of Hazzard, I believe.
Yeah, KR Stolfus and Jerry Glenn come together, and I just said that Jerry Glenn had one of the cleanest cars on the racetrack, and you know, after that he must have got into some trouble there because his car isn't so clean now, and I'm not sure if that was, you know, intentional or not. It was KR Stolfus and Jerry Glenn together, so let's go take a look and find out what it looked like from the cockpit.
Yeah, this track's very hard on brakes, so it could have been a contributing factor here.
That was tough, man. Happy New Year, John Marine. Thanks for stopping by. The accountant in the house, in the building. Yeah, that was that's a tough one to call, man. I can't say if, you know, what I think, but it definitely didn't look right. Yeah. Well, let's go back live here. These guys on pit road for the final time, unless we have a caution. If we have a caution, then these guys will.
Yeah, I think KR called it in his interview. He said he had a warning label with him that said hazard, so he gave these guys a warning.
Absolutely.
But you know, that's one of those things. It's Pocono, man. Long straightaways, very short braking zones, and you got to get on these brakes. They start fading a little bit, you know. You kind of, somebody pays the consequences, whether it's you or a guy beside you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I was watching these guys come off of pit row, and after fighting with Troy Radford for so long and getting that lead, he come on the pit row first and come off. Looks like he's gonna come off third. Bruce Potter, he did come out ahead of these guys. Let's see, Bruce Potter. He come in 2 laps prior, so Bruce Potter might have made one heck of a call. He come down pit road 2 laps ago. The caution come out, so he had already been on and off pit road, and he didn't have to come in under caution. So Bruce Potter, the new race leader with a pit strategy, puts him out front. But Katie Osmond, that puts him back to 4th then.
And that's one thing about Pocono, you know, you don't usually talk about is it's big enough to where you can pit and not go a lap down. So that's a very good call if that's what's going on here with Bruce. I mean, that could be a, you know, a race-winning call there if he can keep it out front.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
The track is so big. It's 2.5 miles. You don't really think about this track is as big as Daytona, but it really is. It's not nowhere near the shape of Daytona, but it's the same mile length. But Troy did get out ahead of his rival here in this race, of Katie Osmond. You know, I've seen he's beat Katie on pit road near about every stop this race. Katie's kind of got himself in a little bit of a hole, but not too much. He's back and forth, it looks like, behind Tommy Haynes. Tommy hadn't really made a lot of, you know, noise here. He's been in the top 5 most of the race. Like he said, he just want to take care of and get through this race pretty clean, and he's doing a darn good job of it so far. But Katie's hungry, you can tell, you know. He really would like to get this win here.
All right, well, they're doubled back up here, and they're making that long way around this long Pocono Speedway. These caution laps, man, they're tough. Sorry I had to take a quick second. Real quick, but I'm back.
Yeah, I was just talking about Troy Radford and, you know, getting ahead of KD there and how hungry KD is probably to get this win. And how, you know, consistent Tommy's been. As far as, you know, he wanted to get a good run, you know, get a good points day, and he's definitely doing it right now.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You know, this coming to what, 15 to go this time, I think, and it's really going to put some pressure on some of these drivers like the 81 of Katie Osmond and Troy Radford. So it's going to be interesting here the last 15 laps. We've had some exciting racing going on here so far, and I think it's about to heat up, Dustin.
Yeah, we can throw out the window. We don't need fuel anymore. We don't need tires. You know, we're good to go to the end. If we can have a Yeah, but under caution, you know, we might see a couple people hit pit road, but I think Katie has something to prove, and you know, I think him and Troy's are buddies, so maybe a little bit of bragging rights in between those two guys. It's gonna be fun to watch here.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge for the both of them because they definitely challenge each other really well. And looking at the pace car, the lights came back on.
Well, we're going to have a delayed start here. Looks like somebody might still be on the track. Out of order, maybe. I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah, me neither. So, hey, you know, it is what it is. Lights go back off, so they're going to have to drive around one more time at this pace speed, 70, say 75, 70.
That's going to shorten this sprint race up just a little bit more here, so a little bit more excitement. These guys are probably building up so much they can't contain it right now.
That's going to be one less lap that they're going to have, you know, to make up some time there. All right, well, look, we got Bruce Potter and Troy Redford on the front row, Tommy Haynes and Katie Osmond on the second row, Todd Sargent and John Wimbish in that third row, Chris Garrett, Ed Morris in the fourth row, and Ron Hollyfield and K.R. Stolfus in that fifth row. Let's take a look. You know, we do have a race summary here. We've had caution number 6 that we're on here, 19 laps. We've had 13 lead changes here, Dustin.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible for Pocono. Within 66 laps, so yeah, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, no shortage of racing here. Even on the longer run we did have, that was probably the best racing we've seen all night. So, probably something to look forward to here if we can get it green here. I think the last 2 or 3 laps is going to be a, you know, a barn burner. These guys and gals watching at home and up in the stands here, they're going to get their money's worth.
Yeah, and you know, John out there in the chat, John Marine, he's like, you know, Pocono is much less of a wild card than Daytona. Yeah, it's much less of a wild card. Here we go. Loud Pedal is in action here. The 59 of Bruce Potter taking advantage of that smart pit strategy there. Puts him out front. He gets to lead these babies down into turn number 1 as he looks at his mirror. It's Tommy Haynes and Troy Redford side by side. Now Tommy Haynes has him clear. That's going to put KD Osmond and Troy Redford side by side here. Bruce Potter still the leader, but he is under pressure here. The 17 of Tommy Haynes looking to take the lead for the first time tonight.
Tommy was trying to use Bruce as a pick there for Troy, but he's going to have to try it again down here in turn 3, and they're 3 wide behind him. KD in the middle here.
The 81. Yeah, he finds himself in traffic here, and he's got a lot of work to do. The new leader, the 17 of Tommy Haynes. Troy Redford in second. Todd Sargent in third. Look at these guys going down into turn number 1. They are side by side, 2 and 3 rows deep.
Tommy Haynes, look at this. Who would have thought it? He's up here in the lead. Troy behind him, trying to chase him down. We're coming up to 10 to go pretty soon. Man, what a race we got going now.
Yeah, these guys out there, they're not holding back now. Tommy Haynes, he's showing them what he's got now. He's not shifting. Here comes the 94, Troy Redford. He's putting it to the inside of him. Here's the enter turn number 3. They're going to go side by side and drag race to the line to see who's going to lead this one. Troy Redford with quite a run off of 3. And with a nose ahead of the 17, Troy Redford scored as your leader that time by. Look at Todd Sargent sticking his nose up in the mix. There's these guys battle in front of him. He's just looking for an opportunity, and there it is. And he's going to go side by side with Tommy Haynes.
That's exactly what Troy wants to see coming down this back straightaway here. It's the 30 and Tommy Haynes are battling getting into the tunnel turn. They can't go side by side here too easily. Troy's going to look to extend his lead here. And KD is falling way back. It looks like the 6th place, and he's trying to claw his way back up here to the front.
Yeah, he makes it through all that traffic that he was in without getting, you know, a lot of damage or in any kind of trouble. but he definitely loses a lot of track position there. He's back to 6th. He's trying to get around the 76 here. That's Chris Garrett. Garrett to the outside and Katie Osmond on the inside here as they enter turn number 1. If he can get around Chris Garrett, his next one on the list, the hit list, John T. Wimbish there in the 56. But he's running out of time, Dustin. 10 laps to go.
Yeah, and these 2 guys in front of him ain't going to make it too easy for them with 10 to go. They're teammates. They're looking out for each other, and they've gotten here through adversity. They've battled this whole race. It's been a tough race for these 2 guys. Not one of their favorite tracks, and it's going to be hard to get by.
Absolutely. John T. Wimbish is running in 4th. Tommy Haynes drops back to 3rd after leading there for a second. He gave it all he could, trying to stay out in front of Troy Rafford, but Troy Rafford just too fast to tame right now, and he regains that lead there. He's been the one out front for most of this one. KD Osmond making a move here. He looks to the inside after he got around Chris Garrett. He's already to the inside of John T. Wimbish as they hurry off into turn number 1. John T. pushes up the track. The 81 of KD Osmond clears him.
Yeah, and John loses 2 spots there, just a little tight. He, like we said, or he, like he said, talking to him, he's just battling tight all night. As KD is looking to try to pass the 17 car, he is closing up quick on their Tommy Haynes, John Wimbish's teammate.
Yeah, and he's already looking to the inside here for that number 3 spot there, trying to take it from Tommy Haynes, and that's what Troy Rafford wanted to see, man, was KD getting stuck a little bit further back. And this whole time, Troy Rafford trying to stretch it out as far as he can, trying to get away from that 81 machine as far as he can, because, I mean, you know, it's not over yet. KD still has enough time to run down Troy Rafford, especially if Troy makes some kind of mistake and drives that thing too hard. Right now, Kenneth Dale Osmond's up to 3rd, Todd Sargent in 2nd as they follow Troy Rafford around here. Pocono Raceway, 9 laps to go.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to KD on that restart. Maybe he missed a shift. Very unlike him, especially in this race, as fast as he's been. That's definitely what Troy wanted to see. But Troy hadn't, he's not clear sailing here so far, because that 30 is lurking right behind him, waiting for any mistake that he might make.
Yeah, and I'd say, you know, KD, the 81, and the 94 Rafford, they definitely have the cars to beat here at Pocono. And with Troy Rafford being out in front of KD with so much, I think it's maybe a second, 1.1 seconds ahead of Kenneth Osmond. So it's going to be hard to make up 1 second. He has knocked off 1/10 of it since I've been talking. So he's making up some time here pretty quick. Can he do it? He's got it down to 9/10 of a second. I'll keep you updated on that because Kenneth Dale Osmond is flying right now. And he's going to have to get around that 30 car of Todd Sargent, though, if he wants a shot at Troy Rafford.
Yeah, Todd Sargent's biggest fan right now is KD Osmond. He's in 3rd place. He's hoping he gets up beside Troy Rafford. They start battling. That's going to make it easier for him to get up there and get back in this race.
Well, right now, KD has got a clean track in front of him, you know, because he's got such a big gap between him and 2nd place of Todd Sargent. This is going to give KD some the opportunity to run some very good laps. Right now, he's got it down to 0.8 of a second. So in 2 laps, he's knocked off 0.3. And then it drops to the 7. So he's down to 0.7.
Yeah, KD's putting together some awesome laps right now. Troy and the 30 car of Todd Sargent are just looking through their mirror. It looks like Troy might have made a little bit of mistake and overdrove the tunnel turn. Here comes the 30 car of Todd Sargent all over the back end, and here's the 81 not too far behind here.
That's exactly what he wants to see, Dustin, if he can get these. Oh, no. Contacts. Troy saves it. KD Osmond doesn't miss a beat, and he's going to take over the lead all in one corner there, KD Osmond.
He's got the run coming into 1 here. Let's see what he does with it.
Side by side into 1, KD Osmond and John T. Wimbish.
Man, what a chain of events here.
All in one corner. KD Osmond goes from 3rd to the race lead. John T. Wimbish flies by him down into turn number 1. We have a new leader with 6 laps to go. Make it 5.5 laps because he is halfway around. As they dive through the tunnel turn, there's no damage on the car, the 56 or the 81 machine. Here comes the 81.
That 56 car is going to get wide as his teammate is on the outside of KD right now. He's helping John out a little bit here. We're coming to 5 to go.
Yeah, the 56 and the 17 are teammates. And right now they have sandwiched KD Osmond, with KD Osmond having a fast race car. Let's see if he can do it. Let's see if he can get around John T. Wimbish there. He has got around the 17 and Tommy Haynes, and he is not looking back. He is looking forward out the front windshield here as the 56 leads him around down the backstretch. As we come to 5 to go, guess what, Dustin? If the caution comes out, this one will be over, and it'll go to John T. Wimbish right now. So KD has got to make it happen here. And, you know, that little thing between Troy Rafford and Todd Sargent, well, Troy's back to 4th, and Todd Sargent's currently in 6th.
Yeah, those guys did not want to see that between them. That's a little mistake on their part, and there it is. It's official, baby.
John T. Wimbish might be the luckiest driver on the racetrack here. The caution is out, and that's going to put an end to it, I believe. Like, don't take. Hey, it might go back green. I definitely doubt it. They are going to have to drive around to catch the pace car, and it'll be 3 to go. So might want to mark that one down. Nope, there's the pace car.
Yeah, I think it's over, man. What a race. Man, what a race.
I'm pretty sure it's over too there, Dustin. This one might be the luckiest win of John T. Wimbish's career here. And once again, Troy Rafford with a little bit of bad luck there after dominating here at Pocono. And KD Osmond, what a run he had tonight. And he's going to come up one short there. And I believe if he'd have had one more lap, he might have had a shot at John T. Wimbish there to take over the lead, but he didn't get that one more lap.
Yeah, KD was just on a prowl right there. He knew what he had to do. He was trying to take a little bit of time, a little bit of patience to set him up. He didn't want to do what happened between the 94 Troy Radford and the 30 car there, but you know, man, when you're in that spot, it's hard to be patient, you know. And that's the same thing we've seen between Troy and the 30 also, so.
Yeah,
but, man,
an exciting finish to an exciting race, man. It's been a lot of events happen here tonight. Wow. And yeah, 2 weeks in a row, man. I mean, these guys have been putting on some exciting finishes here at the United Southern Racing League. The 2018 Demon Sim Works Cup Series here live tonight at Pocono Raceway on Sim Race TV, SRTV Network here, guys. I enjoyed this one, Dustin. This was a great race. And, you know, it seems like every time tonight when I said, if a caution comes out, the caution came out. So I need to quit saying that.
I'm not too sure if you don't have the caution light button in your bedroom there or wherever you're broadcasting from.
Well, I need to find out what happened and why we're under caution here this time. So let's go back and let's take a look on the replay and find out what brought out the caution here tonight. And I believe I know what it was. Right here, the 03 and the 77 come together. KR Stolfus and Keith Dunn make contact there, and that's why we're under caution here this time. So if you guys missed it, or you were curious as to what may have happened there, that's what happened there. KR Stolfus into the wall, bounces off of the wall, and gets into Keith Dunn. And that's exactly what John T. Wimbish wanted to see, man. What a finish, man. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, man, I was on the edge of my seat. I was even gripping my wheel like I was in the race. That's what you like to see, man, as a race fan. And first and foremost, I'm a race fan. I'm up in the booth with you, man, but I want to see a good race just like anybody else.
Well, I'm interested to see if this is going to go back green. I really think it's going to go green. I mean, I'm not sure, but if nobody went down pit road, this thing might go back green. And if it does, that's probably not what John wants to see, but it's what 81 of KD Osmond wants to see.
Yeah,
so,
I think if it goes back green, we'll see John get on the gas in the middle of 3 there, probably. He might pass the pace car to try to win this thing. Because, man, what a turn of events we've had there. I could not believe it.
Okay, well, Keith Dunn came down pit road that time. He's on pit road right now.
He just manually disconnected, so I don't know. Would that affect it?
Yeah, absolutely. He was in his stall. It was counting down. It was doing a pit stop and all that good stuff. So I believe that it will end it right there. We did have a driver come down pit road. So, yeah, I believe this one is over with 2 laps to go. John T. Wimbish just thinking in his head right now, man, how'd I do this? How did I do this?
Now, we were talking about luck earlier in the race, and luck was definitely on John's side right there in that moment.
Yeah, let's go back and let's take a look at what happened there off of turn number 3 with Troy Rafford and I believe Todd Sargent. Because that's going to be fun to watch, this right here. Let's watch it. Well, let me back it up just a little bit here. So while these guys are running that last caution lap, Todd Sargent drove it down into turn number 3, and it pushes up just a little bit and gets into Troy Rafford. Oh. And John Wimbish, with a heck of a run, flies down the front stretch and takes over the lead on the entry of 1 right there. I want to watch this one more time here. All right, Todd Sargent and Troy get together. The 81 dodges that one. Wow. I tell you what, I'm going to do one more time. Let's look at it from the cockpit of John Wimbish. As you see right here, he's currently in 5th. He downshifts, and he never lifts it as they make contact. He stays in that throttle, and he is flying down the front stretch here, trying to make a move on KD as they get into turn number 1. He does have the race lead at this point. And he throws that thing down into 3rd gear, and he hammers down. And he holds on to that lead until the caution comes out. So, man, what a finish to a crazy race here. And I had to go back and watch it. I had to see it one more time. The final time around for the 56 car, and the points leader coming into tonight, with the night being the first race of the chase. As you see right here, John T. Wimbish is the points leader by 5 points over Ed Morris and Troy Rafford, and 10 points over Todd Sargent, Chris Stump, 15 over the rest of the drivers that made the chase, which is Wimbish, Morris, Rafford, Sargent, Stump, Haynes, Potter, Dunn, Albright, Clement, Thwaites, and Ping are the top 12 drivers that are in the chase here. So that's going to help out John Wimbish there. Troy Rafford in second, tied for second there. Him and Ed Morris, they're going to finish 4th and 5th. So the points are going to be tight between those for the second position. And I believe it's going to be to Troy Rafford. So the points after this one will be Wimbish, Rafford, and Morris, your top 3. And then Todd Sargent will be in 4th. Chris Stump come into tonight in 5th, but he did not bring his car out to the racetrack. So that's going to do it for Chris Stump and knock him back to probably the 12th position in the points. But tonight, for tonight's race, race number 11, the first race of the chase, the number 56, as John Wimbish takes home the win here at Pocono Raceway at a dramatic, exciting finish. And I guarantee you, he couldn't be more happy about the way that things turned out here. After we talked to him earlier, he didn't sound too excited about getting a win. Hey, John, Marine, thanks for coming by, man. It's always good seeing you. Sometimes I don't really see you unless I'm over on OSR Network, but hey, man, it's always good to see you. You've been over here a few times before, and I always enjoy it. And John says, congratulations to the race winner. Good job, everybody. I'm putting on a great show here at Pocono. And I was glad to have you here, man. As the 56 car, John Wimbish does his burnouts here on the front straightaway here at Pocono Raceway. We're going to take a look at our race results for tonight. John Wimbish with the win. Katie Osmond comes home in second after a great performance out there tonight in an extremely fast race car. Tommy Haynes going to finish in third. Troy Radford comes home fourth. Ed Morris in fifth. Todd Sargent, Chris Garrett, Ron Holyfield, and Bruce Potter along with K.R. Stolfus rounds out the top 10 there. We'll move on. Keith Dunn, Jerry Glenn, Doug Johnson, J.J. Garrett, Eric Driggins, and Charlie Widner along with Adam Jocelyn, Dustin Ping, and Trent Potter rounds out the field here tonight at Pocono Raceway for the 2018 Demon Simworks Cup Series. The race win goes to this guy, John T. Wimbish here. After starting 15th, he's going to finish first. He only led 6 laps there, but he led the most important one. But guess what, guys? Hang tight. We got driver interviews coming right up, so don't go nowhere. You want to hear from the top 3, which is going to be Tommy Haynes. That would be the teammate of our race winner, Tommy Haynes, and John T. Wimbish, their teammates. So we'll talk to Tommy Haynes first. He's going to be the first one coming up here to talk to us tonight. And Dustin, he's got a lot of good questions to ask that driver. And we did talk to him earlier in the race, so we'll see what he's got to say about how things turned out here. And I'm trying to get a good shot at these guys, man, but they're kind of stuck in a weird spot. So we'll have to do this here. Tommy Haynes coming right up.
Hey Tommy, this is Dustin German up in this SRTV booth, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Dustin. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, man. Looks like you and your teammate had a good race after all. Looks like y'all were kind of maybe battling the same thing, a little bit of a tight condition. Tell us how your race unfolded there close to the end.
Well, I dropped back to about 5th there, and then the leaders got together, and it's like me and John got shot out like a slingshot coming down the straightaway, and we started passing everybody back, and I was just trying to hold on to 3rd there, and I'm glad to see John get the win, though. I like for it to at least run out. I don't know if John could have held off his 2nd place guy or not, though, but it'd have been tough.
Yeah, man, it's always good to be lucky in racing. You know, good's one thing, but being lucky is another. And when you combine the two, it makes for a good race. So how's this do for you in the championship, man? I know y'all are pretty well off in the championship there, entering this thing. You got 4 more races to go after this. How you doing here?
I think I was 15 points back after they recycled everything, so this will help me out a little bit. Get me back on up in the standings a little bit.
All right, man. You had some new competition out there with KD Osmond. Maybe I'm hoping he might be one of the guys they sign on for next year. And good racing, man. What you think? Who you got to think out there? Your team.
I think John Wimbush. I think Demon Simworks. Anybody looking for a racing rig, go to DSC on the Facebook page and check them out. Real sturdy pieces of machinery. You won't be disappointed. And I hope when me and John get back to Bassett tonight, they're going to have a champagne flying after we get done drinking here today.
Yeah, man. Awesome race. Me and Jared couldn't hardly contain our excitement up here in the booth, man. Awesome job and good run.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all. And thank y'all for the broadcast. Y'all do a heck of a job, too.
Tommy Haynes comes home 3rd, man. You know, I bet he was giving this guy in the 81 machine. I know he was giving him some trouble, man. And I'm not sure if KD had any thoughts on that, but we'll get a word in with KD and see what he's got to say about it. KD, it's Jay Weezy. You got a copy?
Yeah, I've got you.
Hey man, you know these guys you finished right in the middle of were teammates, man. When you was going at it with the 17, man, what was going through your head?
Oh man, I don't know. I was just trying to get up to the lead and win it. That was my main goal at the end right there.
Yeah, and I was talking about you the whole time out there. I knew from the drop of the green flag that this car was going to be one of the cars to beat. You and Troy Rafford seemed to be the class of the field. I know you had a fast race car, man. I know if you would have got to him, man, what do you think? You need another lap or two?
I think if that caution flag didn't wave, I would have had him. Definitely. It would have been a close race for sure, but I think I would have been able to edge him out.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, man. You know, looking back at the restart there, that last restart, it looked like you got in a little bit of trouble there. You had some, pit, I guess maybe on a pit stop to kind of set you back a spot or two. I know that Bruce Potter ended up pitting right before the caution flag came out, which gave him the lead there. But I think you restarted in 4th, and then by the time you were coming down the backstretch, you was in 5th or 6th. What happened on that restart?
Yeah, man, I just got, my shifts got all messed up going down the front, and then I hit the bumps going into turn 1, and I just got sent up the track a little bit, so I lost all my momentum. And then, like you said, I got evened out, and like, I think it was 6th or 7th I was in, and then I just started working my way back up.
Oh, and you was flying up through there, man. We was watching you coming up through there. You had to go back and check it out, but you was definitely the fastest car on the racetrack. 2/10 a lap faster than Troy Rafford. Finally got to the back bumper of him, man, and then, you know, that caution come out and all that, and you were in for it. You come down pit row in the lead there, and then a little bit of trouble there set you back a little bit, man. I hate to see it for you. You had I would say the best race car out there between you and Troy Rafford. I think you had him on that one, but you know, you got to be lucky and good here, and the luck side didn't work out for it, man, but you did a great job out there tonight. You put on a heck of a show, and you come out and you pretty much did all you could, man, to put that thing in victory lane, but you come up one short, man. Anybody you want to thank tonight?
I'd just like to thank you guys, then everyone else in the league. I'm not actually really in the league. This is my first race with them because Troy invited me. So, yeah, just like to thank everyone here and you guys in the broadcast booth.
Hey man, we appreciate you out there for putting on a great show, and hey, hopefully we'll see you back, you know, next week. It's always good to see you out there on the track. I've been back and forth with you quite a bit out there, so I know how fast you are, man. So good luck if you come back next week, and great job tonight.
Yeah, I hope to be back next week. Thank you guys.
All right, we'll move on to our race winner. This guy, the number 56 car, man. I can't believe he pulled this one off, Dustin. You know, John T. Wimbish seems to be fairly lucky and good, but fairly lucky on a lot of these tracks, man. And tonight, he was definitely one of the luckier drivers out there tonight because he never lifted. He come off of turn number 3. And he is actually in 3rd gear, and he just upshifted and kept that loud pedal pushed down as he headed off into turn 1 side by side. He come out with the lead, and it worked out for him. John T. Wimbish, it's Jay Weesey. You got a copy?
Yeah, man, I got you.
Hey, man, I know you're smiling ear to ear running those pace laps out there. What was going through your mind when that caution came out?
I knew the race would be over, and I was pretty daggone lucky.
I would have to say, man, the 81 car, man, I tell you what, he was one of the fastest cars out there, along with the 94 Troy Rafford. Obviously, Troy Rafford got into it with Todd Sargent a little bit there. And we went back and watched that a couple times, man. And, you know, as I was saying right before I got on with you right here, man, you come off of turn number 3 right there. You had the pedal down and you never lifted. What was going through your mind right there?
But that was my chance. If I lifted to try to let them gather it back together, and I mean, I normally do that for people just trying to be, you know, fair, good sportsmanship and all. But it's the end of the damn race, man. I mean, you got to go.
I have to agree with that. I have to agree. You was in 5th place coming into turn number 3, and then going into turn number 1, you was the leader. So, hey man, you did what you had to do out there. I know those guys, they kind of got into it. And was there any kind of thing going through your head, thinking I might get into an accident if I just hammer down? But You didn't do it. You didn't let loose. I mean, you didn't lift.
Yeah, I kind of figured what I'd done a little bit before that was try to give myself a little bit of space in case something happened and give me some time to react to it. And I saw what was going on. I don't know what happened or how it happened, but I was like, all right, these guys will get it squared away, and there's a hole up here somewhere. And so I'm just going to stay in it, and I'll shoot for that hole, and if I make it through, I'll make it through, and if I don't, then we're all going to be done.
No, that's right, man. You know, it's a wide front straightaway here at Pocono, and it's a long front straightaway, and that gave you the opportunity to come home with the race lead. And I know the 81 was starting to come up on you there and put some pressure on you right before that caution come out. Was you thinking about what you were going to do about the 81?
Yeah, look, I noticed he was, and really the first part of this race, I wasn't shifting. And, you know, I figured here towards the end, your own tires, you know, if you're going to do anything, you're going to have to shift. And so I kind of started doing it and started to get a little bit better at hitting, you know, the shift and getting back in it where I needed to. And I figured about the only thing I could do with him was just try to take a line away and run in front of him, especially going down into one right there. And, you know, maybe he would push a little bit, or, you know, we'd see what happened. But I mean, you know, Kenneth did a great job all night long in that 81 car, his first race with us here. And, but, you know, it worked out. I'm happy, get the win, get the bonus points for the win. And, Tommy getting third here. So pretty good night, for me, for somebody that really despises this track.
Yeah, you said make a horse racing track out of it there when we talked to you earlier, man. But it couldn't have worked out any better for you tonight. And hey, man, I'm glad to see you get the win. You know, coming in as the points leader, coming out with the lead, the winner of this race here tonight, the 56 Demon Racing chassis, the 01 Camaro pulled it off tonight, man. My hat goes off to you for staying in it, coming off of turn number 3 right there. I don't know if I'd have did it. I probably would have did the same thing. But it worked out for you, man. You got the win tonight. Anybody want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank all these guys that run here at USRL and choose to. We got several new people in here tonight. We had KR in here, and that was pretty cool to have him with us. Thank my teammate Tommy Haynes. Information that we share, you know, practicing and during the race. Thank Demon Racing Chassis, Demon Simworks, Splash and Go Graphics, Esophageal Cancer Awareness Association, and remembrance of my dad. Also, I want to say a special thanks to Sim Experience. I bought my AccuForce wheel. The first race we did, and y'all covered it, and I won. I went crazy burnouts, and the coil cable got wrapped.
I think we lost you there, John.
Oh, you got me now?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I want to give a shout out to Sim Experience because I broke my coiled cable on my AccuForce. That first race I won here, I went crazy doing burnouts and broke it. And so I messaged him the other day and told him it was my mistake and I'd pay for it anyway. Josh Villers emails me back. They're sending me 2 more. So shout out to Sim Experience. Great products, great customer service there too. Appreciate you putting on the broadcast for us and getting us out there. It's helping us get more drivers in here, and we're just looking to continue to grow as we go.
Hey, man, it was fun to watch you guys out there tonight. I really enjoyed it up here in the booth, man. And the 56 started 15 tonight. Only led 6 laps, but he comes home in 4th, coming in as a points leader. Only by 5 points over 2 fast drivers. And he's going to come out with the points lead, man. Good luck moving forward, John, in the chase. You got 4 more races, man. Good luck.
All right, man. Appreciate you guys.
That was our race winner there, John T. Wimbish. And yeah, Sim Experience, you know, he offered to pay for those, and they said, no, don't worry about it. We'll send you 2. So great customer service over there with those guys. Check them out at Sim Experience. And Dustin German, man, what do you think about tonight's race, man? Any last words?
Well, man, it's I didn't expect what we seen tonight. You know, Pocono's kind of one of those tracks you get singled out and everybody kind of runs their race, tries to be easy. These guys wasn't holding back any punches here. You know, we had some new faces out here tonight. You know, we had some regular faces we've seen in victory lane this year come out and pull out the win. You know, KD did a well of a job. You know, I'm hoping he's going to stick around and be a fixture here in USRL. But 2 teammates in the top 3. You know, John coming out here with the, you know, keeping the points lead. Awesome job, and I cannot wait till next week. Next week we're going to Cali, baby.
California. We're going to Auto Club.
Tracks. Yeah, Auto Club. I cannot wait. One of my favorite tracks on the service. So should be even better than this week if that's even possible.
Well, Dustin, it's always a pleasure, man, calling these races with you. You always got some good information. You're the gasmatician on these things, man. So I appreciate you coming up here with me. And yeah, man, I can't wait till next week at Auto Club, man. It was good to see Ron Holyfield out there tonight, man. Hopefully he comes back, man. A good friend of mine. And hey, man, next week at Auto Club, it'll be live at 9:40 Eastern time. So come back and watch it. The USRL 2018 Demon Sim Works Cup Series here live on Sim Race TV, otherwise known as SRTV Network. I'm Jay Weezy for Dustin German and SRTV Network. Until next time, next Sunday to be exact, we'll be back. So stop back and watch a good one. We'll be up here calling this one, me and Dustin German, and we might have a guest, Steve Baker. We don't know. Steve comes up here with us every now and then. But until then, you guys have a great night. And we'll see you then.